Ladies and gentlemen, apologies to those who were not able to tune in for the first half, but the second half will in fact be live in the Laing Simmons Blacktown Men's Premier League 1 Saturday night live stream. My name is Mark DiPoli. Tonight I'm joined by expert analyst and budding commentator Aidan Panetta, who will be joining me for the first couple of minutes of this second half. But just as a quick recap, Polonia have lifted themselves off the foot of the PL1 ladder with a 3-0 half-time lead over Riverstone and are closing the gap on their red rivals as well. Aidan, I bring you in for your match of the round debut here tonight on the mic as we try and capture what's happened in that first half. People will be able to watch this game back when it is uploaded in full in the coming hours after this. But firstly, welcome to our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. How have you enjoyed the spectacle of the Blacktown match of the round in at least that first half?
Well, I think it's been a terrific environment. I mean, both teams playing with pace. It's always great to watch a potential upset.
Now, we've obviously seen in that first half, Riverstone, and as a capture for what's happened in the first 45 to those who weren't able to watch, Riverstone had their finger on the pulse. They had a really good chance for Siddiqui Kamara to put the ball in the back of the net. They had chances made after that, that of course being the best one. They puffed and puffed, but couldn't blow the house down, and then all of a sudden, Polonia just came out of nowhere and split their defence open on 3 occasions in 10 minutes. What do you think went wrong with Riverstone there?
Well, I think it's been a game of execution. Although I believe Riverstone was winning the possession battle initially, Polonia's execution with their minimal chances on goal has been key. They've jumped on Riverstone, and this shift in momentum might have just won them the match. So what a spirited effort here tonight.
Yeah, it certainly has been, and Polonia talked on the podcast just released last night, of course, which we encourage you to go and watch if you haven't already. It's been one of those ones that has bangs with you, so thank you so much to those who've already tuned in. But they spoke about having a striker that would take the chance to win the game. Well, firstly David Cullen, then his younger brother Michael Cullen, and then Mohamed Nazari scored his first match of the round goal since he was playing against Polonia for Spurs 2 years ago, which is just an amazing story. What do you think, if there is any way back in for Riverstone in this game?
Well, I mean, it's quite uncharacteristic of Riverstone in terms of being loose with the ball. But I think it's going to be pivotal for them to tighten things up on defence a little bit in order to take back control of the match.
Certainly right, because we know that they've not had a league defence really up against some of the smaller teams or perhaps the less endowed teams in the comp. But certainly tonight, against a team that they should be beating on paper, they've not turned up, at least in the back parts of that first half. What a crazy, crazy match. Aiden, thanks so much for tuning in and giving us your expert analysis. It's been great to have you on. Sit in and enjoy this second half. Go and enjoy from wherever the vantage point is that you're watching from. And thank you for being here.
No worries.
Second half about to come here at Blacktown Football Park. You're joining here tonight, Mark Topoli. Thank you again so much for being here. Again, sorry for the fact that the first half was not shown on stream. You'll be able to watch it back in full when it is released in the coming days. But right now, let's tune in for this second half. Polonia up 3-0 thanks to the two Cullen boys out there in the pitch, and also Mohamed Nazari, who just had that ball put a bit too far in front of him. And again, thank you to Aiden, who's now making his way out of the commentary box for his contributions and that little expert pickup on the defensive Riverstone, just being far too open on one or two occasions, and those one or two occasions has come to their undoing. What a surprise. What a surprise. Of course, they were forced into a change in the first half. They had to say goodbye to a man who was performing really well for them. Solomon Lado had to come off, and he was replaced by the man in number 7 jersey, Lorenzo Rodriguez, only into his 4th year of being an association footballer at the age of 28 now. A couple of match-of-the-round debutants for Polonia. These two boys in midfield alongside Michael Cullen, Rajnil Chand and Shivnil Singh winning the ball out of the sky just there actually have been really, really good to watch. What are Riverstone going to concoct in this second half? Of course, Riverstone are the only team in Match of the Round history, and they've done it twice, to come back from 3-0 down in Match of the Round games. They've won 4-3 on both occasions against Mount Druitt Town Rangers when they were the original team back with those older colours before they pushed away and then came back again, of course, this last year. And then they did it again 2 years later against Quakers Juniors at this very venue. But, man, even that looks far-fetched right now. They are looking like they can't really create any chances, haven't really created a real chance in the last half an hour of in-game minutes or so. All this possession, but what are they going to do with it? What on earth would have been said in those sheds? I reckon there would have been a couple of Frenchies used in there. All Polonia need to do is sit in, conserve energy, and just keep it tight. But if one team can score 3 goals in one half, another team can score 3 goals in the next. Mohamed Nazari, the most recent goal scorer in the match, beaten to it by the touchline there. Jackson Laurie finds Aaron Thomas, who, to those who weren't able to watch the first half, was the centre-back who was charged and tasked with progressing the ball out of defence. It's a chance to find the right-back here. Luca Bonani runs a construction company, but can he deliver this ball in towards the back stick? And it's just about gone out for, no, not a corner, a goal kick. Riverstone won't like that one. Have to announce here as well that in the Laing Simmons Blacktown Men's Premier League 2, despite the fact that Minchinbury went into half-time with a 3-0 lead over Town Rangers then proceeded to score six unanswered goals and won the match over the Jets 6-3. Well, this game also went into the sheds at half-time with a 3-0 difference. That in the way of Polonia, of course, tonight wearing black and red. Could history repeat itself on the same night? 6 goals in the second half of a match unanswered is one of the craziest scorelines I've ever come across at any level of football. And it's actually halted the Jets' title push and put Mount Druitt Town Rangers right back up there. Free kick called here as Riverstone are trying to put some pressure on Polonia. But this is what the first half was full of. It was full of Riverstone being in these threatening positions. But what are they going to do with the ball? Right, Gurgis Abdallah put one over the crossbar in the first half from exactly this same position but on the other side of the pitch. He's their top point scorer this year from referees' votes, and he needs to do something right now with this ball if they're to inspire a comeback. Well, that is going in the scrapbook of fails for this year. David Cullen, the match-winning goal scorer if the result stays and the scoreline stays like this. Leroy D'Souza with a nice bit of goalkeeping distribution out here to Mantzos at left back. Picked up well here. There was a kick out on a Riverstone player there, I think. In fact, it was on a Polonia player, hence why they lost the ball. And they've got a free kick. Riverstone not happy. Nope, we'll have to wait again. Square pass. Shivnil Singh picks up and goes square again to Aidan Cox. Michael Cullen gives it away. Did he beat the offside trap? Well, it doesn't matter because Aaron Thomas got his foot nice and high to get that under control. Laurie, tough to deal with by Salinas, but he's done well. And now turning with Siddiqui Kamara. I need to see more of the number 2 up top. Lorenzo Rodriguez. Cox stepped in well. Fortuitously back here towards Nick George. Still Nick George with that black undershirt, so recognisable. Here back towards Lorenzo Rodriguez. 1-2. Lorenzo Rodriguez still cleared away. Bump on his man in the process there. Looking for a foul. Won't get it. Gurgis Abdallah was heaved to the ground. The last one to react poorly would be Gurgis, and then struck from distance. That's just the wrong choice. Riverstone do not need to rush things here. Riverstone are more than capable of getting back into this game by playing their own brand of football. This is not the 80th minute of a Champions League semi-final. You don't need to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at your opposition. But if you just need to take your time and have the poise, you could easily launch a comeback here. It doesn't take long to score 3 goals, as we've seen Polonia do in the first half. Gurgis Abdallah by the far side touchline. Done really well. And then struck from distance. It was blocked. Junior Mayum was the one who took the shot. The only real remaining player from that 12-0 against Workers all those years ago. You never know what you're going to get in a match of the round from Riverstone, but you can promise every single time that it will be entertaining. On the wrong end of the biggest hiding in match of the round history, they've made 2 3-0 down comebacks. They just provide entertainment every time without any question of doubt. Johnny Pickering been one of the players of the first half, and if he'd have got that incisive pass right, well, they would have been on for number 4. Ace Palugadu also been really good in a day that's been headlined by some of the older boys. The 21s eligible players of Polonia have been really, really good tonight too, including Johnny Pickering and Ace Palugadu up that far side touchline. And if you were here in the first half, you would have seen how they combined so beautifully, so brilliantly underneath your eyes of the camera. So unfortunately, they have to switch sides after the second half, of course. Now, of course, to those of you who may be wondering, in the live ladder, this does lift Polonia off the bottom of the table and it puts Tigers last. They were even on 1 point each after the 2 of them played a 2-all draw a couple of weeks ago in what was a fun old wet day at Chopin Park. But this does put Quakers Hill Tigers last in the first grade table and last on the club championship, but there's a whole lot left of this season still to go. Funnily enough, though, we are actually approaching the halfway point. Polonia have a chance. It'll be delivered in by Shivnil Singh. It was cleared away by Jackson Laurie and then cleared away there by Nick George. Kuba put his head in a dangerous and a precarious position. Lorenzo Rodriguez now sends it forward. One back easily there by Rajneel Chand. Ooh, living dangerously. A much more accomplished performance by Polonia compared to their 6-1 hounding, where the goal that they scored was a mere consolation in the 90th minute. And their 6-1 hounding a long time ago, or sorry, a short time ago, I should say. Yellow card for time wasting. That's a strange one in my book. But it's Siddiqui Kamara who goes in the book as well. Perhaps it was for back chat. Of course, I'm not out there in the middle. I can't tell you everything that's going on. A reminder as well, I know we were late to putting the game up to live, but please don't forget to minimize your screen. Press the like button to let us know that you're enjoying what you're seeing, what you're hearing. Leave a live chat as well. We will respond to all of those that are appropriate. What a ball in behind. Ace Palugadu now. Still Ace Palugadu. Tries to square it to find Mohammad Nazari. Another one of those young folk, that young crop who have done so well tonight. Missed in the air by both Siddiqui. Oh, actually, there could be a chance here. Siddiqui up against Kuba. Keeper thought about coming and didn't, but now the chance is kind of moving away from him. He's got no support in red. Still, though, Siddiqui Kamara! Oh, off the base of the post! He nearly did it all himself. Kuba goes down. He's got an injury concern again. That's so unfortunate. What's gone wrong here? How on earth did Siddiqui Kamara fashion himself an opportunity from that? He was alone. His own team didn't believe in him. And he still did it. Real concern here. This could be what comes to the undoing of Polonia, perhaps. What happened to Kuba? Yeah, he just started, he looked fine, and then he just started hobbling. So I'm wondering, obviously hoping that nothing has gone structurally wrong, but I'm wondering if he's just gone down to take the heat out of the moment. It would be a wise old thing to do. He's not one who likes to come off, but he has had his injury concerns. Of course, he did hurt his hamstring on 3 separate occasions last year and missed heaps and heaps of football. He's actually going to be forced to the sideline here, and he'll have to return to play a little bit later. So momentarily down to 10 men. No, we can't start yet, says Kiana. Quickly becoming one of the most experienced referees, despite being just 20 years old. Still no Jakub Moiser on the pitch. No Kuba just yet. One back there by Gurgis Abdallah, but they've lost all their territory. Aaron Thomas, formerly of Parkley, now playing as a centre-back these days. One of his first misdirected passes of the evening, cleared away there by Rajneel Chand, who's been pretty solid in the midfield tonight, as mentioned in the halftime show. On the cusp of 2/3 of this game being played, 58th minute that we're in right now. Free kick against Polonia, who are starting to feel a little bit like the referee's against them at the moment, but Riverstone need to use all this good fortune, perhaps, if you like, in their favour. They must take a chance soon, surely. They've had so many across this first hour of the game. It's just been the issue of putting it in the back of the net. Only one sub made so far by either team. It was a forced sub as Solomon Lado came off in the first half for Lorenzo Rodriguez. A chance from the free kick to launch a comeback. Plenty of time to do it. It's struck over the wall, dipping off the crossbar. Riverstone goes so close again. Is it just going to be one of those days where it won't go in? Bit of an awkward leap back into the box. Lorenzo Rodriguez is there. Polonia must keep firm here. It took a touch off their own man into the hands of De La Fuente in goal. Unbelievable. One of their own players, Riverstone, got in the way of their own shot. Living a little dangerously here. Well, one there by David Cullen, as Michael Cullen puts some pressure on Aaron Thomas. D'Souza's done really well in goal. Needs to show again, though, because he's being pressed is Jackson Laurie, but he's done quite well himself, the number 4 and captain of Riverstone. Abdullah trying to muscle his way back into the contest, and he's done just that. Down went one of the Polonia players, not quite sure who, as Kubak clears it into the night sky onto Football Road. In fact, it stayed in. I thought it was going way over the office, forgive me. Now that one goes out into the stands. Back in play, made a couple of yards. 2 balls on the pitch. Very dirty work by Polonia. A brilliant way to hold the momentum. Dark arts as they try and sit in for this win. All the way back to Jackson Laurie. Living a little dangerously. Riverstone looking quite fit out there. Polonia looking not as. It was Riverstone who came to train here at Wanderers 5s. It was Polonia who didn't opt to train. Penalty! Penalty given without hesitation. And maybe Riverstone have a way back into this game. An unprecedented olive branch has just been thrown their way. And with 30 minutes left to go on the clock exactly. Wow, what a moment. Well, we know what happened between the Jets and Town Rangers today. Let's have a look. Yep, the ball was missed. The foot was clipped. It is really, really good work by number 10, Nick George again. And you feel that Riverstone are just creeping up a little bit closer. They've been getting ever closer to the goal mouth. They've been having more chances than they had even in the first half. And now the question is, who has the bottle to take this? Well, that's strange. That is the single weirdest thing I've ever seen. The ball was just booted into the car park by the team about to take the penalty. Not sure why. Not sure how it's not a yellow. Apparently the ball wasn't good enough. So it's Siddiqui Kamara up against Marcus De La Fuente. Marcus De La Fuente is actually the scorer of a penalty last season after the relegation scare was staved off. Siddiqui Kamara, who had a chance in the first half, has 1 goal and 3 assists to his name in the Premier League. A 4th assist to add if you include the State Cup. He really needs to. The South Melbourne Junior gets on the score sheet here. "22 years old. Looking for a first match of the round goal up against De La Fuente, doing his best. Redmayne on the line. The team who are so good at comebacks, might they be launching one right here? They are, potentially. Siddiqui Kamara went down the middle. That takes bottle and nerve. And the game is back in contention, at least if you're a Riverstone fan. What are Polonia going to do now? A 2-goal lead, cut down from 3. And just under half an hour to bring it back in. There is no way they could do it again. Surely they can't do it again. This Riverstone team know how to do match of the round comebacks literally like no other. I will remind you, they are the one and only team, and they've done it on 2 occasions too, come back from 3-0 down to win a game 4-3. They did it in 2020, they did it in 2023. And now here in 2025, surely not. Changes afoot here for the Polonia boys. David Cullen goes off. On comes Andre Dera, who I know has a special someone watching along tonight and wanted her to be shouted out. So hello to you, Monica. I do believe as well that Nazir Komi, formerly of Marion, has come on. A match of the round hat-trick goal scorer when he was in the green of the young, now 34 years old, is going to be preferred off the bench here tonight. He's been a starter and then he was dropped for 2 weeks. Now he's back here off the bench. Yeah, Riverstone have a bit of a spring in their step, and that's why Polonia have gone to their bench. Bit more running up top is what they've decided to bring on. Here is Nazir Komi. Stepping in was Jackson Laurie, I do believe. Bonani was out of position. And now Nazir Komi, who knows how to score when the cameras are on, tried to swivel it towards the back stick. It's going to hold up. It does for Andre Dera, who I've heard really, really good things about. The ball is still in play. I don't think Polonia know about it yet. And easy in the end after Shivnil Singh had that pot shot from distance. Lots of love in our comment section for the penalty taking genius. That is Siddiqui Kamara, first match of the round goal. On debut. It is critically important that Polonia do what they said they had to do in the podcast, which is complete a 90-minute performance. You're allowed to concede a goal, that's fine. Can you hold them out for the rest of it? Andre Dera, just 20 years old. Oh, Lorenzo Rodriguez has hurt himself here. He said it straight away, his night's done. He was subbed on, of course, as an injury replacement for Solomon Lado. Huge issue here. Ball out. As well in the 32 jersey is a man who debuted on the podcast last night, Abdul Butt, known better as Hasib Butt. And also, of course, the man who runs his own football channel on Instagram, which you should check out. Think Football 10. But no, Lorenzo Rodriguez, as we hone in on Riverstone again, knows his night is done. That is so unfortunate. Like I said, was brought on as an injury replacement and has now injured himself. Now, the issue for him is he's only ever played 4 years of football. He's coming off the back of a 9-match suspension as well, but his night is done. And River are forced into another change. Unbelievable. So unfortunate for the lad. Well, he's off. And River are trying to warm up a replacement straight away. That might be Jaden Snowden. I'm not 100% sure. Let's have a look at the shirt number in just a moment. Might be Will, better known as Bill Bamba. Let's see. It is, in fact, Bill Bamba. 20 years old as well, just his second year at the club. Ball put in behind. Palugadu sees it go out. Now Riverstone are the ones who are in a bit of a rush. Trying to play out from the back. Picked up there, I think. It won't matter, it's given away. I think it was by Palugadu. No real press. Nick George, who won the pen, so he's got an assist to his name tonight. Good turn. Look at the space. Where is Polonia's defensive midfield? Don't want to let this guy run too much, or he might just win a pen. Took a pot shot, though. In the end, they constricted him well enough. Here is Bill Bamba. Back to Bamba now. Blocked off by Aiden Cox. Had a pretty solid game at left back. Oh, Polonia will let him know that wasn't so good. Subs a foot again, it seems. potentially. No, doesn't look like it. Back in play, Polonia, with 22 minutes left to hold out in this one. Probably a bit of out of time to come too. Hasib Butt. Dera had it taken off him, tried the pirouette. Well done there by Hasib Butt, who spent 5 years, including some under Brad Attard as well. Speak of former Spartans women's first grade coach. And of course Russell Williams, coach under him, of all people. Oh, well done there by Ace Palugad, who's been good to watch tonight. Nazir Komi knows a thing or two about a match of the round goal, but he'll be tasked with delivering this one into the box, it seems. Holding it up well, the 34-year-old, formerly of Marion. Slowing down time as best as he can. And we're back here to Kuba Moisa. To Hasib Butt. Wanting the ball again is Hasib, keen to see what this guy's all about, although he's done a perfect pass here to Junior Mayum. Ball in behind, offside flag raised. That was very tight as the ball finds the back of the net. Very, very tight indeed. Wow, big moment, big call. Kuba will send this one long, it seems. Nazir Komi, the furthest forward one to aim for. In the end, he just plays it short to Avit Kumar. Another one on Match of the Round debut here tonight. Jackson Laurie being closed down by Nazir Komi, who is surprisingly strong in the challenge, is Nazir by all accounts. Riverstone have 20 minutes to rescue some points from this one. But every minute that goes past, it seems increasingly less likely. Perhaps I should say decreasingly likely. Aaron Thomas has 2 Match of the Round goals to his name. Both of them against Marion in the one match. Well done there by Johnny Pickering, just 20 years old. This is a big task here for Kuba to deal with. He's got 2 to deal with. Here is Bill Bamba to the edge of the box and struck and blocked off of Mayum. And here running in was Bonani from fullback. Now he's out of position. A foul might be coming in here, but Thomas read it well. But will he keep it in? No. Kicks the ball away. Jackson Laurie, the captain of Riverstone, just instructing the team to play simpler football. He thinks that they're trying too hard to create or force an opportunity, perhaps. Bonani out of the sky, wins it strong. Loves a Red Bull before the game, I've been told, the Jamie Vardy method. Cullen with his back to goal. Now his goal is considered the winning goal because he was the second goal scorer of the night. Goal. Cullen again, back to the halfway line. Hasib Butt, all the way back to Shivnil Singh. Been great to watch on Match of the Round debut as well. Johnny Pickering, who just continues to improve. Although, with the commentator's curse on his back, gives it away. Daniel Salinas, who said that this squad could achieve top 3. They haven't quite displayed that here tonight. That's poor. By William Bamba. Siddiqui Kamara has gone down. Now he's back up. Polonia have a chance to hold the ball in a place high up the pitch. I think that might be Steve Watkins who's coming on. So, of course, a man who once scored a poker. That was last year up against Tigers. Ended up as one of the top goal scorers of the year. 35 years old now, and of course, principal at a school in his 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. But here he's a pretty good goal scorer when the cameras are on. Hasib Butt just dancing, trying to keep that ball in. He's been pretty good to watch off the bench, hasn't he? Cullen tries to receive. Lovely work. Nick George been Riverstone's best player. Kuba did well to step out of defence there. Lovely by Hasib, but Nazir Komi, the subs combining. Taken off him though, and they'll just take away another 20 seconds or so of this game as they creep closer towards their first 3-point haul of the season, 15 or so minutes away. Better by Polonia. Past Steve Watkins. It is in fact Steve Watkins in the number 9. Confirmation of. Pass here to find Nick George. Again, been their best player here tonight. George. Conceded. Riverstone looking to take this one quickly. Plenty of bodies forward. If they score here, my word, we'll have a pretty great last 15 minutes. If they score at any point in the last 15 minutes, it'll be pretty great to watch on the run-in. 1/3 of the way through a comeback. The comeback kings themselves. Delivered high. Gurjas Abdallah was cleared away. Kuba is there. So was Hasib, but a chance to counter-attack. Nazir Komi. Well won there by Jackson Laurie. Aaron Thomas. Matt Zoss. And that's sent away. Hope that doesn't bounce on my car by Kuba. It's hit someone's, not mine, so therefore it's fine. Subs afoot. Looks like Polonia are going to bring on Sami Abbas. Off will come Ace Palugadu. So a young'un for a young'un. Sami Abbas picked up over 30 goal contributions last year across all 3 grades. Started in the grand final, of course, is a flying, fleet-footed winger, formerly of the BDSFA AYL program. Still a kid, 19 years old. Towards the front post, awkward attempt at a save. Player's gone to ground, no penalty, waved straight away by the referee, and then struck and just about saved at the near post. That's much better hands there by De La Fuente. It was initially a hairy moment. Just over 10 minutes left to go in this one. He's going to punt this one from his hands up and into the night sky. Lovely touch out of the sky by Chris Mansos, and in turn it was a pass as well. Gurjas Abdallah goes square back to him just inside their own half here. Now back they go into their own defensive third. Press here by Polonia. A couple of those new boys off the bench are doing that really good pressing job up top. Was there a foul there? Won't matter. On they go, still with a red jersey right now. The Gunners misfiring all night. Well, they are formed after Arsenal at the end of the day. Junior Mayum. Salinas. Oh, Bonani was threatening, but I don't think he expected the ball and it was behind him. 10 to go. No rush for De La Fuente and co. Subs afoot again, this time for Riverstone, who are trying to chase the game, of course. My guess is that this will be the man in the number 80 jersey, just 18 years old. It will be George Nadeira. Made his match of the round debut last year after a couple of fractures in his back. It is, in fact, him. Well, yes, it is, in the 80 jersey. But here is the 18-year-old Nadeira. One of the Australasian Academy boys. Has a bulldog-like approach to the game, I've been told. Back this goes to D'Souza. Not the first muffled clearance of his evening, unfortunately. Sami Abbas' first real opportunity of the game off the bench. Got so much pace. And against the tired fullback, it could be deadly. Corner will be really well done. And look at the way Polonia are cheering this on as they count down the minutes to the 90th. No rush to take this one. Delivered in though, cleared away. Not too many numbers in the box this time. Oh, that's poor. Steve Watkins gets on the ball, and now they're trying to launch a counter-attack. Here they come. The Gunners trying to click themselves into gear. Nick George won the penalty to get them back in contention. That's a bad challenge. Yellow card. I think that was Sammy Abbas straight off the bench onto the yellow card chart. And then you know what? For a 19-year-old, that is an experienced challenge right there, because look how it's killed Riverstone's momentum. Scroll back 20 seconds and look how many numbers they had forward and how many Polonia didn't have back. Smart challenge, wins the yellow, if you want to call it a win. Smart, very, very smart. He thinks he got the ball. Either way, he interrupted what looked like a pretty promising chance to reduce the deficit to just one. Eight minutes to go. 8 minutes for Polonia to hold on. Chasing a first win of 2025. Three-man wall. All the young kids standing in it. Played short. Ball delivered in. Cleared upwards. And then away by Michael Cullen, the only Cullen left on the pitch now. Out of the sky, Jackson Laurie forced back to D'Souza. Being closed down, touch took him wide to the right. He will now be forced into a clearance, just shy of the halfway line, into the midsection of Nick George. Michael Cullen, who started the defensive counter-attack, finds now here Nazir Colmy to perhaps seal the game off. No, there's a player that's gone down. It's Nick George, who was battered in a challenge with Cullen there. Wouldn't be the first, won't be the last to do that. One back here by Johnny Pickering. What a game he's had. Win the game here he could. Ball in. Mayum dealing with it well, winning a free kick, pushing Johnny away so he can take it quick. Not really much of a midfield battle out there. It really is just attack versus defence, counter versus counter. At least in the last 5 minutes or so. It's been great to watch, especially if you're a neutral. Nadeira beaten to it by another young'un. Well done there by Andre Dera, who now runs inverted inside. Hasib Butt just back to the halfway line to find Shivnil Singh, then Cullen out wide to Abbas. Might have been a hand involved there, but he's going to get the ball back by hook or by crook. Past his man in a flash, but the ball went out off of the touchline. 6.5 minutes to go. Polonia are close. This will be a huge win in the context of the relegation battle. And a much better performance all round by Polonia. But you know what? They haven't really made too many chances since they scored those three. But fair enough, when you go up by 3, rest a little bit. Sliding in was Pickering. Floored his man there. Exceptional entertainment here at Blacktown Football Park. Throw in taken quickly by Riverstone. Mayum was turning. Here comes Kuba. Shield out. Well done. Just over 5 minutes left to go. Polonia counting down the minutes. Yep, you can hear it up there. 5, dig deep. This is the most amount of viewers we've had on the stream so far across YouTube and Facebook. Thank you for being here. Reminder to go and watch the podcast that came out last night. And don't forget to like the video, like the live stream too. Let us know you're enjoying what you're seeing, hearing and experiencing, of course. Shielded well by Aaron Thomas, who'll take this throw in, but he's forced to go back as a couple of seconds creeps off the clock. If you're a Polonia fan, you're ramming. Throw in taken. Under the foot there of Aidan Cox. Good footwork there by Nicholas George. Jeez, he's good to watch sometimes. Shirt was being tugged, got the pass wrong, but the advantage was not received by the Reds. So it will be a free kick, some 35 yards from goal. 4 minutes left to go. Polonia are close. Big moment here. Delivery is critical. Nadera, the shortest one out there off the bench, will be required to deliver this one in, just 18 years old. It's a little bit shallow. It might bounce kindly. Kuba steps in again, puts it out for a throw. Well dealt with there. River want to take this quick. It's Bill Bamba looking for an option. Nadera was there. Nick George is there. He doesn't want to find any of them. Steve Watkins, need to see him in a goal-scoring position soon. Kuba sends it towards the commentary box. There are just over 3 minutes to go. Nadera on the ball again. Still need 2 goals, Riverstone. What's going on here? Take the ball back was the call. There's an easy option to play back to Aaron Thomas here, if Nadera wants to. It's a foul throw. Not called up. Well, either way, he's given the ball away. Tried too hard. Aaron Thomas was there the entire time to deliver it in. Two and a half minutes left to go. Polonia are nearly there. Michael Cullen's been a rock in midfield. Comey beaten to it. Cullen stepping in. Trying to put some pressure on Gurgis Abdullah. Sent away, hit the ref. Bouncing ball it will be. Riverstone just feeling that the momentum is not going their way right now. Drop ball in favour of Rivo. Don't think they'll be kind and give the ball back to Polonia here. We'd love to see a skinhead Rooney moment against Hull, but I don't think we're going to get it. Polonia keep it. After all that. Given away, chance here. Junior Mayum being closed down well. So a corner again. River haven't really done too much with this all afternoon and evening. What's to come now? There are 2 minutes to go. A goal here would be incredible. There's a foul there in the box, and you know what? That might just do it. Just over 90 seconds to go. Polonia nearly there. Well, it won't quite be the clean sheet they wanted, but the performance as a whole and the clinical nature of their strikers in the first half is going to lead to a win, it seems. Flicked on by Hassi Butt, won by Aaron Thomas of Riverstone. Watkins flicked it on as they try and find something, salvage something from this game. Won well there by Aaron Thomas again. Gurgis Abdullah needs to get this pass forward. River players not really showing for him right now, sitting on the last line. Easy yellow card to be given out here. Hassi Butt knows all about that. Inside the last 30 seconds here. How much at a time will be afforded to Riverstone? It's a foot race now. Nazir Comey trying to close down. Jackson Laurie was there. Aaron Thomas dealt with it. Sent away by D'Souza. River running out of time. On the halfway line, Mantzos lumped it forward. One in the air by Kuba. One in the air there by Shivnil Singh. Michael Cullen under control. Shielded well. Pounced in behind. Sliding challenge Laurie. Back past the halfway line. Rivo's last roll of the dice perhaps to try and launch something of a counter-attack. Nadera doing well but doing too much. Release the ball. He's got no options. Slide tackle Cox. He got the ball, said the ref. And should be cleared away now by Andre Dera. And it's a foot race. And he'll cut back inside past Bill Bamba. Then he sends it square to Cox. He now crosses the halfway line. The fullback finds his inside midfielder. Chance for them to really put the cherry on the cake here. Forward Shivnil Singh. Offside flag has been raised on Nazir Comey, who wanted another goal. My word, what a passage of play. We are into added on time. River, I think now it's official to say they're out of time, it seems. Well dealt with by Dera. He sends it back. Polonia are real close now. They can sniff it. They can see it. That first win, that elusive first win, right in their grasp. Yep, Rivo's spring has been sprung. Oh, lovely Sammy Abbas. Lovely Sammy Abbas. Seal the game off, got the square pass wrong. Whistle to the lips. Hand raised. And the first win is upon Polonia. And this might just launch them into the top 4 race that they want to so badly be involved in. But most importantly, here as we enter the 3rd month of competition and approaching the halfway point, they find themselves off the bottom of the table and there is nothing Rivo can do about it. 3 goals in a matter of 10 minutes in the midpoint of the first half is what was enough to separate these two teams. A penalty by Siddiqui Kamara was not enough to inspire a Rivo-like comeback. David Cullen did so brilliantly in the first half to open it. Michael Cullen then scored probably the goal of the night before Nazari tucked one into the bottom right-hand corner. You'll be able to go and watch that when it's fully uploaded tomorrow. And yes, as we mentioned, Siddiqui Kamara got a match of the round debut goal. But at the end of the day, Polonia were the more clinical team. Polonia wanted it more, and they defended for their lives where they had to. What a match of football it was. My name is Mark Napoli. Thank you very, very much for being here tonight. It has been a pleasure to bring you all things Blacktown Premier League 1. Of course, thank you as well to those who have tuned in after the live stream came live in the second half, to our referees for giving us a perfectly well executed and officialed game. Thank you as well to Aidan Panetta, who's to my left, to my technical director, and of course to Brendan on my right in the cameraman booth. And to those who are wondering what is on this week, you can be looking forward to a Friday night match of the round that will finally feature Town Rangers, and we'll ask them all about their 6-3 today. See you next time, guys.